Welcome back. We're live from Washington, D.C., celebrating 400 episodes of NCBA's Cattleman to Cattleman. With me now are two of the cattle producers who serve as officers of the National Cattlemen's Beef Association. Philip Ellis, a cattleman from Wyoming, is currently serving as NCBA president-elect, and Tracy Bruner, a cattleman from Kansas, who's the NCBA vice president. Gentlemen, thanks for coming all the way to Washington, D.C. for us.
You bet.
Thank you, Kevin.
Well, let's begin by getting to know you two just a little bit better. We had a great conversation last night, Philip, about the history and heritage of your operation. Tell us a little bit about your operation there in Wyoming.
Well, I'm glad to, Kevin. Yes, I'm a fifth generation to raise cattle in the upper Bear Creek area of southeast Wyoming, near the little town of Chugwater, Wyoming. Okay. The sixth generation is taking over the operation of the ranch, so I can be here in Washington, D.C. tonight. And the seventh generation with grandsons and grandnephews are on the ground. So we have run cattle there since my great-grandfather was a teenage open-range cowboy in the 1880s, running Texas Longhorns, to our current operation where we run a Hereford Red Angus Cross cow yearling operation, selling long yearling steers to feedlots and sourcing bred heifers to local ranches. We love the cattle business. We love raising cattle on the shortgrass prairie of Wyoming.
Outstanding. I suspect they're a little colder than you are here tonight in Washington, D.C.
Yes.
And Tracy, you're new to the leadership team, but certainly not new to the leadership of the industry. Tell folks a little bit about your operation and your background.
Well, Kevin, I'm here tonight from our operation in central Kansas. We have a family business. It spreads from seed stock to grazing to finishing and farming and ranching. You know, and you've asked about my industry experience. I've had the opportunity to be chairman of the Kansas Beef Council and also president of the Kansas Livestock Association. Also served a 6-year term on the Cattlemen's Beef Board and 3 years on the Beef Promotion and Operating Committee. Within NCBA, I did work on the New Products and Culinary Initiatives Committee and chaired that. Also served as chairman of the NCBA Policy Division. But really, Kevin, the real experience for me has been over 30 years of membership in NCBA, the great people that I've got associated with, come to know, and be able to learn from. That's the real reward for me.
I would concur. And I want to talk to you about the people that you get a chance to visit with in your respective leadership positions. What are you hearing out there at state cattlemen's meetings? What's top of mind for cattlemen, Philip?
Well, that's the excitement, to be able to visit with cattlemen, but the genuine excitement about the cattle market today, and in many areas, the turnaround in the drought and the good rain they've had, the forage that's growing, so they have an opportunity to expand their operations, to get people involved, and so I think there is genuine excitement that we're hearing out in the country.
Tracy?
Well, Kevin, if you ask about the mood in the country, I'd say it's probably the best that I've ever experienced. And that says a lot, because cattlemen are known for their overwhelming optimism, and that's characteristic of their nature. You know, at least in the midsection of the country, we're recovering from that 5 years of ravenous drought and the exceptional feed cost spike that we experienced with that. Herd rebuilding is beginning. And, you know, what I see and hear from cattlemen far and wide and young and old is that cattlemen are anxious to invest in new technologies and new ways to build more beef and better beef for their customers here and abroad. And supply is not the only part of the story, Kevin, because demand is strong, very strong, up over 5% here just in this year alone. So I guess I would sum that up by saying there's a lot to smile about in the cattle business today.
If you can't smile now, you better just hang up your spurs, right?
You bet.
Philip, I know you're going to be incoming president-elect, or you are president-elect. You will be incoming president next year, and I'd be interested to know, what does that opportunity mean to you?
Well, Kevin, that means a lot to me. I'm passionate about families on the land, on ranches and farms, raising beef cattle. Since my days as Wyoming Stock Growers Association president, a regional vice president for NCBA, traveling about, I am passionate about the success of families, to visit with them, and for them to raise beef the best protein and the tastiest protein for the families across America and really around the world.
Yeah.
But everywhere I travel, when I am talking and being with beef cattle people, if I've never been there before, I'm home.
Yeah.
And so I'm excited about that opportunity.
It'll be a good year. You know, at one level, the opportunity to be president-elect allows you to influence a bit, even in a grassroots organization like NCBA, the priorities of the organization. And I would ask, what are some of the key priorities as you move into 2015?
Well, two things are on my mind, Kevin. In the policy arena, I guess I call it the 3 T's. Trade, to keep this market moving, keep our sales growing so that we can enjoy the enthusiasm and market we have today. And then perhaps we have the opportunity with this fresh wind blowing across D.C. for tax, to take these tax extenders we're always working with and maybe make them permanent so we can have a planning horizon for expensing, bonus depreciation and those sort of things. And then finally, just the nuts and bolts of transportation is the other T, and the reauthorization of the transportation bill for weights and the rules that go along with that. But the other big one on the beef promotion side is with our millennial consumer. You know, that is the generation that we want to understand, we want to communicate with. We've done a lot of work there. We have more work we're going to continue to do so that they choose beef for their families as a part of their meals and part of their lifestyle and pass that on to the next generation. So that's going to be important, and I'm excited about that.
Gentlemen, thanks for your passion and for your leadership.